So this is a historic day. Never before have so many online journalists and influencers, and that's exactly what you are. You're journalists and you're influencers, come together in this building to discuss the future of social media. Each of you is fulfilling a vital role in our nation. You're challenging the media gatekeepers and the corporate censors to bring the facts straight to the American people, and that's what you're doing. You're going right to the people. Possibly we wouldn't be here right now. I asked somebody, what do you think I'd do without social media? Would I be here? Because I said, I think so. But they weren't so sure. I have to say that, you know that. I'm not sure I believe that, but I have to say it. But you communicate directly with our citizens without having to go through the fake news filter. It's very simple. Together, you reach more people than any television broadcast network by far, not even close. We're delighted to be joined at this summit by someone you know very well, our senior advisor for digital strategy and somebody that's been working for me for a long time, for many years, Dan Scavino. Where's Dan? Stand up there. So long before we were even doing this, he was at a club, running a club and other businesses, and he was okay at doing it. Not the greatest. I wouldn't say the greatest, but you know what he was great at? He was always looking at his computer screen. I said, that guy's incredible. So right at the beginning, I said, that's the man. And there was nobody better at that. And I think Hillary had 28 people, and I had Dan. Right? Good. I had my Dan, and he works about 28 hours a day.
Thank you. Well, first of all, can we just give another round of applause to the President of the United States for his leadership on this issue? You know, the media says, the establishment media, the fake media, they say, oh, there's no censorship in social media. That's all made up. That's all fake. You and I know that that's not true. You and I know the truth is that the social media giants would love to shut us down. They would love to shut us up. They would love to shut him up more than anything else, and we can't let them. And that's why we need to step up now, and I think we need to say to them, here's the deal. Google, Facebook, Twitter, they've gotten these special deals from government. They've gotten a special giveaway from government. They're treated unlike anybody else. If they want to keep their special deal, here's the bargain. They have to quit discriminating against conservatives. You agree with that? No more. No more discrimination. It's that simple. That's all we're asking for. They ought to abide by the same principles of free speech and the First Amendment that this country embraces, that we love and call our own. And I don't think it's too much to ask for these huge tech platforms who've gotten rich off of our information, right? Off of our data, off of everything we've given them. They've gotten rich off of it. They've gotten rich off their special privileges from government. They want to keep those. They shouldn't discriminate. They shouldn't censor. They shouldn't shut us down. I want to thank the President again for his incredible leadership. Thank you for allowing me to be here. Thank you, Mr. President, for all that you do.
And you know, Josh is doing right now, he's doing some very important legislation because we have to do something about what's happening. I never hear about the other side. I can tell you, I think I'm pretty good at getting out a message, but technologically, I would think I'm okay, just okay. But I'll tell you, a lot of bad things are happening. I have people come up to me, sir, we want to follow you. They don't let us on. Two very special people, I have to say hello to them. Because my wife said, I see these two beautiful women, African-American, incredible women that are on television. They are unbelievable. This is 2 years ago. She was before her time. They have no idea who I'm talking about. She was, our first lady said, you have to see these women. They're incredible. They're genius. And they like you. I said, I want to see them. And I like them. I love them, actually. I love them. Come. It'll be a major story. So I just want to introduce, because a person that I've admired for a long time, who's a great lawyer, Harmeet Dillon, and she's one of the leading First Amendment lawyers in our country. And Harmeet, could you come up, just say a few words, please? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. It's a tremendous honor to be here with a lot of people who I really respect and admire. The corrupt establishment that you talked about and the mainstream media have told a lot of people in this room that the social media censorship and the banning that we're experiencing is all in our heads. They're gaslighting us with this lie. Let me tell you about a couple of people I represent in my law practice and the civil rights work that we do. David Horowitz is a great American who's a supporter of yours and has been in the movement for many decades. Well, Twitter abruptly deplatformed him one day, took him off, said he was banned, and then he complained, and then they let him back on. And then the next day, they did the exact same thing to him. That's not an accident. James Damore is another great American who I represent. Mr. Damore complained internally about Google's discriminatory practices against conservatives and pushed for more balance. Not only was he fired for daring to do that, but then these social media platforms used their platforms to humiliate him publicly, weaponize their platforms, and make sure that he could not get a job in Silicon Valley. That's a disgrace. But it goes beyond that. These social media CEOs have come to Congress in front of many of these members of Congress here, and they've lied about what they do. They've lied about the data theft. They've lied about the media manipulation. And they can't get away with that. Now, Senator Blackburn knows from what happened to her on Twitter that these companies are trying to stop the ordinary men and women who you represent from hearing their voices. I'm very concerned that they affected the outcome of the 2018 election, and if we let them do what they've been doing, it's going to affect the outcome of the 2020 election as well. So, Mr. President, thank you so much for inviting everybody here to talk about these issues, and we're all behind you joining the fight to make sure that every American's voice is heard. Thank you very much.
We're also joined by someone affected by this troubling bias very, very much, and president of Live Action, and somebody I've watched really with great admiration. Lila, please come up. Lila Rose. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. It's really an honor to be here. Thank you for doing this important summit. I represent Live Action. I'm the founder and president, and we are a pro-life organization which reaches millions of people every week with the truth about abortion and human dignity. We have been for 4 years banned from doing any advertising on Twitter, and they told us that in order to reinstate our accounts, we'd have to stop calling for the defunding of Planned Parenthood and stop sharing our pro-life content. Meanwhile, Planned Parenthood and other abortion groups continue to advertise. Last month, we were permanently suspended from Pinterest, and they accused us of spreading conspiracy theories and misinformation with our pro-life content with no evidence. And then news media groups picked up the narrative and spread it around. Meanwhile, abortion groups, including abortion clinics, post freely on Pinterest. And then recently, our videos have been viewed more highly than almost any other abortion-related content on YouTube. But YouTube, we made it to the first page of search results, but YouTube buried our pro-life videos and boosted pro-abortion videos. So this double standard and bias is a growing problem in big tech. Even though they say that they are politically neutral and they don't discriminate, they even testified before Congress and said that. So thank you so much to the administration and to you, Mr. President, for holding this very important summit. Thank you.
Thank you. So one of the advantages of being president is when you ask for a meeting, you get it, generally. I don't know, I can't think of too many I haven't gotten. And you say, I'd like to see you in the Oval Office, or you have somebody call Oval Office. I've been with all of these people at the highest level, one-on-one, just recently with Google, just recently with Twitter, the top, all right? And you talk to them and you swear they're like your best friend. Oh, sir, no, we believe freedom of speech. Oh, yes, absolutely. And we go out, he says, who said that? Must come from Queens. So So it's very interesting to see that, and the level of, you look at them, the sincerity, and I say, that's fantastic, and they'll leave, and then I'll realize 3-4 weeks later it's worse. It actually got worse. So I'm not going to allow, and Josh and all of us, we're just not going to allow it to happen like this. We're not going to be silenced. 2 months ago, we created a new White House tool to report social media bias, censorship, and discrimination. We saw you folks being taken off, and we fought on all of you, and many of you are back now. But many of the names, I won't mention your names, but some of you were taken off for absolutely no reason. I mean, in all fairness, some of you I could almost understand. I mean, some of you guys are out there. But even you should have a voice. But some of you deserve. Some of you. I mean, it's genius, but it's bad. But they take off people that, that you wouldn't believe. And we received over 16,000 responses just in a tiny little period of time talking about this subject. Based on the feedback that we're hearing from you, I'm announcing that we will ask representatives of the major social media platforms to join me at the White House over the next month, have a big meeting and a real conversation. We might want to invite some of you. I know, Josh, we're going to have you and some of the senators. And it's amazing how the senators, including Democrats, in all fairness, which is probably because they know it can turn on them also. It can turn very quickly, but they want to come, so we'll let you know the date, okay? And today I'm directing my administration to explore all regulatory and legislative solutions to protect free speech and the free speech rights of all Americans. That's you people in this room and a lot of people out there. We have a lot of people. We hope to see transparency, more accountability, and more freedom. That's on both sides. I am not speaking for our side, assuming I don't even know if you're on our side. You could be some of the most liberal people in the world in this audience, and that's okay. I don't care. But we're talking about for everybody. Big tech must not censor the voices of the American people. To all of the social media influencers here today, you have a lot of power and you have a lot of strength, and you have to use it wisely. Many of you do, but you have to. I want to thank you once again for being here. You're very special people. You're very brilliant people in so many cases. I look around the room. I mean, I see people that really have almost found a new life over the last short period of time with this new technology. But this new technology is so powerful and so important, and it has to be used fairly.